Gelong was the Star Lord. He definitely lived in Dilong City. Xianxia wandered around Dilong City and accidentally discovered that he could feel the aura of a dragon from here. Is there a dragon here? Xianxia said in shock. Divine dragon race is also hiding now. This Earth dragon star has probably existed for a long time. Those heavenly star great leaders must have also come here to look for it. Who asked him to give such a name? Yu said. Xianxia had already found out the location of the Emperor Dragon City's Star Lord. That place was called Supreme Dragon Villa, and if one stood on a wide street, they would be able to see a mountain in front of them, and that would be the Emperor Dragon Villa. Could it be? Yu suddenly thought of something. What is it? Xianxia asked. Gelong has taken a liking to Bixing Immortal Lotus, and Bixing Immortal Lotus is a divine medicine used to refine 3 lotus dan for detoxification. For him to be willing to part with that bone-level fruit means that he is in urgent need of Bixing Immortal Lotus S, and he wants more lotus seeds. That means that the poison that needs to be detoxified is very deep, or that he needs to receive many people's poison. Yu replied, "This place has a dragon aura, which means there's a dragon here. A dragon is most afraid of a poison." Hearing Yu's words, Xianxia also felt that it was possible. And the poison that dragons feared the most was obviously black dragon flower poison. Long Shui was so powerful, he could only absorb a bit of the black dragon flower poison's poison mist, and that took half his life. Xianxia quickly walked in front of the door of the Supreme Dragon Villa. Even though the door was open, a jade plate with no access, or someone that the guard recognized, simply could not be entered. "I want to see Star Lord Gelong. He'll know when you tell him about the Bixing Immortal Lotus." Xianxia told the guard to pass the message back. "Please wait a moment." He quickly left through the door. It was obvious that he was extremely concerned about this matter. It was clear that Gelong had instructed him to quickly spread the news regarding the Bixing Immortal Lotus. Not long after, a black figure flashed by and Xianxia saw a familiar face, immediately flying out. "Oh, it's Brother Shin. Come in quickly." Gelong immediately laughed and said. Then, he brought Xianxia into the Supreme Dragon Villa, into a quiet bamboo forest. Brother Ji's words are indeed true. That bone-level fruit really made me condense my bones. Xianxia laughed. "I, Gelong, am definitely speaking the truth. I have never lied to anyone before." Gelong laughed out loud. "Since Brother Shin has condensed your bones, then we should celebrate it now. I will tell my people which dishes and wine to bring over." Very quickly, the wine and dishes arrived. Many of them were very sumptuous, and Xianxia did not hold back as he tried the delicious dishes. "Brother Gu, I don't understand. These bone-level fruit are definitely capable of condensing bones. Why would you want to exchange it? Furthermore, if you eat 9, wouldn't you be able to condense 9 bones?" Xianxia and Gelong asked after drinking a bowl of wine. "This bone-level fruit is also very strange. Other than the 9th bones, all other divine deity can be condensed by eating bone-level fruit. For example, the first time you ate one, as long as you ate one, you would definitely be able to condense one, and condensing a second bones would require 500 bone-level fruit, and condensing third bones would require 1,000, and fourth would require 1,500. If we were to use this method, we will need to increase the amount by 500. Gelong sighed. "Even so, it only takes a period of time to grow this fruit, and I will also be able to eat the 8 bones, only it will no longer have any effects when I reach the 9th, and will simply not be able to eat." "Oh? Then, Brother Gu, don't you have a lot of these bone-level fruit?" Xianxia said in shock. "They must have tried it, otherwise they wouldn't say such words. There used to be a lot, but now there's less," Gelong said. "At that time I forgot to tell Brother Shen. It was best to save it until the 8th bones is condensed before using it." "I'm fine. Have you ever tried to refine a bone-level fruit into a pill? Would the effects be better this way?" Xianxia asked again. "No, I can't refine a pill. An old fellow here who is capable of refining the King Grade's divine pellet, has tried many times but to no avail, and even wasted thousands of fruits." Gelong shook his head. Xianxia suddenly had a lot of interest. What others couldn't do, he liked to challenge the most, and that was how the 9 Yin and Yangdan acted previously. Brother Gu, how many bone-level fruit do you have? I want to get some. Xianxia laughed. Looking at Gulong's demeanor, he knew that there were a lot of them. If not, he could casually waste over 1,000 of them. If it used to be more, now it is less. Gulong shook his head. Of course, if Xianxia really wants it, give me a price. I can actually help you get some. Brother Gu, even though you are the Star Lord, you guys are a major power, right? It seems like your internal department is also very harmonious. Xianxia laughed. Brother Gu is such a straightforward person. There will definitely not be any conflicts between you and others. Of course, although our Supreme Dragon Villa is not a powerful powerhouse like the Heavenly Star Villa, we are still very loyal. If those big powers want to make a move on us, even if we have to risk our lives, we will still make them suffer. Gulong laughed. What if I take out my 3 lotus Dan? Xianxia asked. He did not have many purple pearls now, but there were a lot of spirit seed that could make the 3 gods' lotus produce lotus seeds. The last time he refined one for Dai Donggong's daughter, he gave Dai Donggong 2 pills and left one for himself. It really is a 3 lotus Dan, and its quality is very high. Gulong was surprised. Brother Shen, how did you get your hands on it? I have seen 3 lotus Dan, but the quality is not as good as yours. Xianxia laughed. Of course I refined it myself. The last time at the trade fair, those bone-level Dan were all refined by me alone. I am also a pill god. Awesome. Gulong gave Xianxia a big thumbs up. Looks like you are much stronger than our old ghost who managed to refine the King Grade's divine pellet. How is it? How many bone-level fruit can I exchange my 3 lotus Dan for? Xianxia now also wanted to use bone-level fruit to try and see if he could refine a pill. If he was more patient, he could use the purple pearl to copy it, but that would take a lot of time. 10. Gulong said. I knew that Brother Gu would have a lot of them, but don't you think so? Xianxia laughed. I can't just casually take out bone-level fruit S. We will just take out a tree and use the time formation to accelerate. Over the years, we have consumed a lot of energy from the Earth's core, so our acceleration has become extremely slow, not as fast as it was before. Gulong said, Brother Gu, do you have dragons here? Just as Xianxia finished asking, Gulong became alert, and a trace of hostility flashed in his eyes. Don't worry, I know what's going on with dragon, but I don't want to catch you bastards like those bastards. To be honest, I have a wife who is a white dragon, and because she was infected with a black dragon flower poison, I ran all the way to Star Law Divine Realm to find the 3 Lotus Dan's divine medicine. After I worked hard to find it, I have successfully refined the 3 Lotus Dan and helped her detoxify it. Xianxia immediately said. Hearing what Xianxia said at the end, Gulong's expression became a lot more gentle. Seems like Brother Shin has already guessed something. Gulong sighed. I'm not afraid to tell you. Even though I have the bloodline of the divine dragon race, I'm human. I have a recognized sister, just like Brother Gu. Xianxia nodded and laughed. The white dragon vein in his body was also very strong. Only those bastards have black dragon flower poison. Since you came from a distant world outside the Star Law Divine Realm, how were you poisoned? Could it be that those fellows went all the way over to poison him? Gulong said. From his tone, it was obvious that he hated the people who poisoned him. Xianxia nodded his head. He had initially absorbed that person's memories, but only knew that they were entrusted to this place by a group of people from the Star Law Divine Realm. But he did not know who they were. At that time, all I knew was that those people were sent by Star Law Divine Realm. I came to Star Law Divine Realm, and only then did I have a slight understanding of the powers here. Xianxia said, at the same time, I also heard about the matters of the divine dragon race. After all, my wife is by long. She should also be considered a member of the divine dragon race. Now it seems like Brother Gu has a lot of poisonous dragons here. White dragons are extremely rare. They have never appeared in divine dragon race, but there are some in teleportation places. At this time, Gulong was no longer so cautious towards Xianxia. The divine dragon race was indeed poisoned by them. Many powerful old divine dragons were poisoned and are currently frozen. We, the descendants of dragons, can only run around in search of the antidote. Gulong sighed. Then how many 3 lotus dan do you want now? Xianxia passed the 3 lotus dan in his hand over. Take it for now. After Gulong received them, he gave Xianxia 10 bone-level fruit S and said, we still need about 30 of them. This is not a small number. Of course, if there were any other supreme dan beads or dan beads that could cure the poison, that would be fine too. To remove black dragon flower poison, 3 lotus dan are the best. If I were to give you 33 lotus dan S, would you be able to give me 300? Xianxia asked. He felt that this was not too hard. He did not need to copy the divine lotus. As long as he could get the 3 divine lotuses to become mature through the spirit seed S, he would be able to condense the lotus seeds. As long as he used lotus seeds, he would be able to refine 3 lotus dan, and he could produce more than 1 pill in a single furnace. If Brother Shin can help us get 33 lotus dan in a short period of time, we can give you 500. Gulong said. Even though I have not reported it, they will definitely agree. All right. In a short period of time. How many days is it? At this time, Xianxia had already told Yuer to plant spirit seeds. As long as she diluted them with purple pearls and watered them with water, they could grow them in batches. Within a year. At this time, he was very excited as well. If Xianxia could help them get so many 3 lotus dan, then Divine Dragon Race's old dragon would be able to unlock them very quickly. Since the Divine Dragon Race didn't have a powerful old dragon guarding it, it caused the entire Divine Dragon Race to panic and hide in all directions for many years. Xianxia had also heard from Yuer that among all 4 divine races, only Divine Dragon Race's combat power was the most terrifying. Earlier, Yuer had already been extremely suspicious about why Divine Dragon Race didn't counterattack, and now she understood that all of them had been infected with black dragon flower poison. Okay, I will definitely give it to you within a year. I have the divine medicine, and right now, I only need to enter closed-door training for a period of time. Xianxia laughed. Brother Go, can you help me arrange a better environment for me to refine pills? Gulong said in surprise. You alone managed to refine 33 lotus dan in a year? That is a king-grade god pill. All these years, Gulong and the others had been looking everywhere for 3 lotus dan S. So they understood 3 lotus dan S very well. Naturally, they knew that 3 lotus dan S were not easy to refine, and many of the pill gods they knew said that it would take at least a few months to refine a batch of 3 lotus dan S, and if it was a long time, a few years would be normal. As for Xianxia himself, he would need to refine 30 pills in a year. To Gulong's knowledge, this required 30 batches of pills. I alone can handle it. All you need to do is to equip your bone-level fruit and give it to me. Xianxia laughed. Quickly bring me to concoct pills. Gulong brought Xianxia to a quiet little courtyard in the Supreme Dragon Villa. I will instruct them not to let anyone near this place. Brother Shin, you should start forging the pills in peace. After Gulong finished speaking, he hurriedly left. He was going to discuss this matter with his own clansmen. Xianxia entered the courtyard and had Yuer start to mature those 3 divine lotuses, so that they could grow a lotus seed as soon as possible. If he wanted to refine 33 lotus dan, he would only need to refine 10 batches. It would be enough if he could condense 10 lotus seeds out of the 3 divine lotuses, which would be completely possible within 1 year. If he wanted to copy 500 bone-level fruit, who knows how long it would take. You try to mature those divine lotuses first. I'll try to see if I can refine the bone-level fruit into a divine pellet, Xianxia said. As long as he had enough divine medicines, he would be able to refine them immediately. Now that Yuer wanted to mature the divine lotus, there was still a bit of time left for Duankong to do so. He also had 10 bone-level fruit on him, so he decided to try refining the bone-level fruit first. Yuer smiled. If I can concoct a divine pill, what kind of divine pill would that be? Can't be called a bone-level dan, right? Let's talk about it after it is forged. It seems like it won't be easy to forge. Xianxia took out the Chuangshi God furnace and threw it inside. Just as the flame was released, the bone-level fruit turned into mist and merged into the flame, causing it to become even more exuberant. Motherfucker! Xianxia could not help but scold in a low voice. He never thought that this bone-level fruit was actually so afraid of flames. It just disappeared the moment it touched flames. Previously, when Xianxia ate the bone-level fruit, he knew that it was very weak. With a light bite of its teeth, it would be able to bite it down, and it would look no different from a normal fruit. Unexpectedly, even the weakest of flames, the moment the bone-level fruit touched it, would immediately vaporize like water. "What's wrong?" Yue saw Xianxia's expression and asked anxiously. "No, that bone-level fruit was a waste. I never thought it would be so weak." The flame evaporated with a light touch. Xianxia said, "I have to think of a way to deal with this kind of special situation. I have never encountered such a situation before. Under my control, the heat generated by my flame is extremely low. Even if the paper touches it, it won't burn for a while. But this bone-level fruit is extremely strange, as if it can consciously absorb a large amount of flames into its own body." Although the time he took to refine the pellet was very short, Xianxia still noticed a lot of things. Xianxia closed his eyes and started searching for a solution within the heavenly alchemy. If he could not find one, then he would not be able to progress any further. When concocting pills, one needed to be precise and proficient in controlling the fire. They needed to refine out the energy within the material, leaving behind the essence and burning away all the impurities. However, this bone-level fruit would never give Alchemist the chance. It could ignite itself and quickly incinerate itself. "Let's try using the flame first. It might be useful." Xianxia was unable to find a suitable solution from the heavenly alchemy at the moment, so he could only use a method that he thought was feasible. After he used the mystic flame, the interior of the pill furnace was extremely quiet. Just as Xianxia thought there was hope, the bone-level fruit suddenly lit up, and in the blink of an eye it disappeared. "We wasted another one." Xianxia was completely speechless. This bone-level fruit seemed to have disappeared the moment it touched the flames. He had no idea how to refine it, and if he did not use the flames, he had no idea how he could do it. He did not dare to try again now, and could only continue to search for a solution within the heavenly alchemy. Just like that, he searched for 10 days, but he still did not have any clues, causing him to become extremely agitated. Could it be that bone-level fruit is really unable to refine a divine pill? Xianxia asked himself. Didn't the heavenly alchemy say that it can refine all living things in the world? There must be a way, but you haven't found it yourself. Yue laughed. Now that you have 3 sets of divine medicine used to refine 3 lotus dan, are you going to start refining them? Xianxia nodded his head. Give it to me. I want to first refine the 3 lotus dan heart. Before, when he was refining the 9 yin and yang dan and the 3 lotus dan, he encountered many problems and could even get a clue in the end, but now the bone-level fruit did not have a clue. No matter how he thought about it, he did not know how to deal with it. In the blink of an eye, 10 days had passed. Xianxia had successfully refined 12 3 lotus dan s, and he was now able to condense 4 pellets in 1 furnace, which made him very satisfied, because this was not a small breakthrough. If it was before, when he refined 3 pellets in 1 furnace, he would only be able to condense 9. Now, Yue could concoct 3 sets of divine medicine in 10 days' time, so Xianxia had only just finished 3 batches, and was about to start concocting again. In about 3 months, Xianxia had refined 8 batches of 3 lotus dan, with 4 pellets each, for a total of 32 pellets. Do you still want to continue refining bone-level fruit? Yue asked. No, I have no idea where to start. Refining it would just be a waste of a bone-level fruit. Xianxia said, let's go out and exchange for those 500 bone-level fruit. Moreover, I had said before that I would be returning in 3 months. We'll talk about it after we return to the villa. Xianxia walked out of the courtyard and found Gulong. It's not even a year and you're already out, Xianxia? Isn't it too boring? Gulong laughed. Of course not. I'm in a hurry to go back. Here are 33 lotus danes. Are you ready? Xianxia laughed. Gulong was greatly shocked. It had only been 3 months or so, yet he was able to refine 33 lotus danes. Gulong found it hard to believe that this was true. Can I see it? Gulong did not dare believe it. Xianxia took out a jade box and handed it over to him. Gulong took a look at it and took a deep breath in shock. It is real as expected. Did you really refine this in 3 months? How did you refine it? I told the old man in my clan that you were going to refine 33 Lotus Dan in a year, and he said it was impossible, and now you're a lot ahead of schedule. You're done in 3 months. Of course I used a pill furnace. Xianxia laughed. I am a very powerful pill god, different from those you have seen before. All right, Brother Gu, where is your bone-level fruit? It couldn't be that he wasn't prepared. Am I refining too fast? I'm ready. Gulong immediately gave Chun Xiang a storage bag. Count it yourself. Chun Xiang counted them, and there were a total of 500. Brother Go, do you know what happened in the Everlasting Mountain in the past 3 months? Chun Xiang asked because if Purple Yuan Sect died here, something would definitely happen later. Well, I also feel that it's very strange. It's already been 3 months and Everlasting Mountain is actually calm and tranquil. It's really abnormal. If we were the Purple Yuan Sect, we would have killed our way over long ago and leveled the Everlasting Mountain, occupying the entire Wang Ancient Heavenly Star. Gulong said, but whether it is the Purple Yuan Sect or the Everlasting Mountain, there are no movements. It is as if nothing had happened. Chun Xiang also felt that it was strange. He said, then I will take my leave first. Next time when I am at the bone-level fruit, I will come again to find you, Brother Gu. Brother Shen, where are you in Wang Ancient Heavenly Star? If I want to find you, how can I contact you? Now, Gulong already knew that Chun Xiang was an extremely terrifying pill god. There's a villa in Song Cloud City. You can go there to find me, but whether or not you want to announce my name, just say that you want to find Leader. Chun Xiang said, Leader? All right. Gulong felt that it was already quite a good amount of luck that he could recognize Chun Xiang as a pill god. He could solve the problem that they had been unable to do for many years in such a short period of time. Chun Xiang left the Earth Dragon Star and returned to his villa. Elder Wu, I was on Earth Dragon Star before. According to my understanding, Purple Yuan Sect did not make any movements, and Everlasting Mountain was like that as well. Why is that so? Once Chun Xiang returned, he immediately went to find Wu Ji and asked him about this matter. Wu Ji was still meddling with the cultivation techniques. When he saw Chun Xiang had arrived, he immediately got up and said, the other heavenly stars and other major powers are also puzzled by this, but I have learned a lot through my clone. This is really strange. Chun Xiang sat down. Dan God Institute and the Elders' Courtyard have all agreed to merge with the Purple Yuan Sect, and Wang Ancient Heavenly Star is also one of the Purple Yuan Sect. After a while, the Purple Yuan Sect will send people to take over the Everlasting Mountain, and that person will even become the leader. Wu Ji said, this way, the Everlasting Mountain will not be attacked by the Purple Yuan Sect, and those fellows will not suffer any losses. And Purple Yuan Sect does not need to go overboard just to obtain Wang Ancient Heavenly Star S and have them take control. They all feel that it's worth it. I really don't know what those idiots from the Everlasting Mountain are thinking. Once the Everlasting Mountain is taken over, they will definitely not have any good days in the future, especially those inner sect disciples who have weak strengths. Chun Xiang sneered. Leader, your original plan was to defeat Everlasting Mountain. It seems like it will become even more difficult now. In the next few days, the Purple Yuan Sect will send his people over to take over the more prosperous parts of the Wang Ancient Heavenly Star. At that time, many of the Peak Divine Lord will come over. Wu Ji said. When the Purple Yuan Sect came over, Chun Xiang didn't feel that this was disadvantageous for him. Instead, he felt that this was good. It's fine, no matter what, we have to face all the powerful forces of the Heavenly Star Realm in the end. Even if the Purple Yuan Sect does not come, we cannot act rashly before we have absolute strength. Otherwise, it would be very easy for us to be killed by the other great leaders of the Heavenly Star Realm. Chun Xiang laughed. We will continue to develop in secret. As long as we have a few Peak Divine Lord S on our side, we will be able to do something to fight against them. Wu Ji nodded. Oh yeah, if you're condensing a disciple with 7 bones, tell me. I'll give them a fruit to eat, and it will allow them to immediately condense the 8th bones. Chun Xiang said. Leader, I have 7 bones now. Wu Ji asked anxiously. Is there really such a mystical fruit? Can condense bones just by eating it? Xianxia nodded. But we can only eat up to the 8th bones. The first time we only need to eat one, then we will definitely be able to condense bones, other than the 9th bones. He took out a bone-level fruit and passed it to Wu Ji. Eat it first. Wait for Elder Wu to finish looking for your 8th bones. Then you can consider the 9th bones. Wu Ji still did not dare believe it. After eating it for so many years, every time he condensed his bones, it would take a long time and it would be extremely painful. Leader, did you find the divine soul on your head? Wu Ji asked. Not yet. I went to Earth Dragon Star to get something like that. Xianxia laughed. There are some things I want to ask Elder Wu. Go ahead. I knew I'd tell you. Wu Ji put away the bone-level fruit and took out a transparent crystal ball. He guessed that the thing Xianxia wanted to ask would require him to establish a connection with multiple clones. I heard that Star Law Divine Realm once had an azure dragon, white tiger, vermilion bird, and black tortoise. These 4 divine beasts, right? Xianxia asked. I wonder if there's still anything left? The 4 divine beasts that were once in the Star Law Divine Realm no longer exist. When a world reaches a stable state, they will also die. His lifespan is limited, and he won't live forever. Wu Ji said, Our undead divine race has very detailed records of the 4 divine beasts, including where they died. I need this information, Xianxia said. If they die, there should be more things left behind. Yes, that's for sure. Back then, those heavyweights caught our clansmen and tortured them to find out where the 4 divine beasts died. As for whether or not it was leaked, I'm not sure either. Wu Ji let out a long sigh, looked at Xianxia, and asked seriously, Leader, can you tell me why you want to find the 4 divine beasts' mausoleum? I need their divine soul to integrate with my bones. Xianxia answered honestly. These bones were all prepared for the other bones on his head. All right, it's just that the tomb of the 4 divine beasts is not easy to enter. Even our clansmen do not know about this. We only know that the tombs of the 4 divine beasts were constructed by a group of strange fellows. Wu Ji tapped the center of Xianxia's brows with his fingertip and told Xianxia the location of the tomb of the 4 divine beasts. What a strange guy. Are they humans? Xianxia asked curiously. We don't know if they are human or not. We know that those fellows are very savage and have the features of humans. But their actions do not resemble humans at all. Wu Ji said. For example, when they hunted the special god beast, they would directly tear it apart and eat it for themselves. If we catch them, they will be eaten alive as well. Furthermore, they are extremely powerful, so what they are using is not divine power. Not divine power, Xianxia said in shock. Could it be the power of my physical body? It's also not the power of the physical body. In short, even if they don't have heads, the random movement of their bodies will still burst forth with very strong power. In short, it's a very strange power. Wu Ji said. Of the 2 bones in his head, one wanted to merge with the life and death divine soul, and the other wanted to merge with the 5 beasts' divine soul. 4 of them belonged to the 4 divine beasts. Back then, there were 5 beast statuettes on the yin-yang array in his dantian, and an elephant was in the middle. It was still the same, and he didn't know where to find the divine soul of that elephant, so he could only find the 4 divine beasts first. If there's a Qilin beast elephant in the middle, then it would be easy. Why wouldn't it be? Xianxia was also very confused by this. Wu Ji returned to the private room to eat bone-level fruit. Xianxia went to chat with Feng Wu for a while, and also returned to the private room to refine bone-level dan. In a month's time, Xianxia had refined quite a few bone-level dan. All of them were of high, middle, and low quality. He passed them to Dai Donggong, bid farewell to a few elders, and then left the Wang Ancient Heavenly Star. Xianxia left the Wang Ancient Heavenly Star to search for the 4 divine beasts' mausoleum. Where are they? Yuer asked. I am quite familiar with the Star Law Divine Realm, and I can sense the stars. Among the distant Death Stars, undead divine race only knows a general idea. Xianxia said, I do. Ha! Yuer exclaimed. Among the dead stars? Star Law Divine Realm has the most Death Stars. You can't just search for them one by one, right? There is an approximate range. Alright, if you were a Death Star, would you be able to establish a connection with one? Chun Xiang asked. No, a dead star is dead. No matter how big it is, as long as it's dead. There's no star spirit in it. I can't sense it. Yue replied. If there's a rough estimate, then it's not that difficult. Chun Xiang used the Wang Ancient Heavenly Star to teleport to a Earth Stage stars, and then used this Earth Stage stars to teleport to a Profound Rank star. Only these stars had transmission array, so he was going to cross over in the endless starry sky. The stars of these divine beasts shouldn't be the type to give up all hope, right? Even their corpses can make the Death Star produce star spirits. Yue asked, Chun Xiang, which divine beast's mausoleum are you going to go to now? Azure Dragon. Using the space wind, Chun Xiang quickly left that profound ranked star and entered the dark starry sky. I've come to this star field before. Back then, I encountered a rather strange matter here. Yue suddenly shouted, You have to be careful. What strange thing? Chun Xiang was only worried about the strange fellow that Wuxia was talking about. He was curious about this and was very curious about the fact that he was able to help the 4 divine beasts build a mausoleum. There's a kind of starry sky blood devil here, like a bloodthirsty thing suddenly appeared. It's invisible. I met many of them and they chased me for a long distance as well. This guy could also travel through space to chase you, but then somehow that guy suddenly died. That's very hard to kill. Yue said, This question has troubled me for many years. When Chun Xiang heard Yue talk about Starry Sky Blood Devil, he immediately stopped. He knew that this kind of star domain was dangerous, but he felt that even if it was dangerous, he would have sensed it beforehand. Starry Sky Blood Devil? Chun Xiang asked. It's a special kind of spirit that's lurking in the dark sky. Their initial form does not have a physical body. It's just that the spirit bodies that you can't see or touch are wandering in the sky, quietly and specifically attached to the bodies of humans and beasts, quietly sucking blood. While sucking blood, you will not be able to discover them, and when you are aware of it, the blood on your body instantly decreases by a lot. Yue thought back to this incident, her voice trembling slightly. Back then, I had a lot of blood sucked out of me. I was almost completely sucked dry. This is terrifying? Why didn't you say so earlier? Chun Xiang looked around, his heart also full of goosebumps. Yue's perception was extremely strong. Even if she couldn't detect it, it would be difficult for others to do so. We haven't reached that area yet. It's still very safe here, but even if we go there, I won't be able to feel the existence of the Starry Sky Blood Devil. But if you use the Tao Heart Eye, you might be able to see it directly. Yue replied, Back then, when I communicated with the stars, I found out that Starry Sky Blood Devil's favorite hiding place was the darkest place. Chun Xiang was currently in the vast starry sky, and the majority of the stars were very far apart, but only a small portion of the stars would emit light. Most of the stars were dead stars with no light on their own, so if they were far away from the stars that glowed, then those areas would be extremely dark. Chun Xiang could see the starlight from all directions. Although it was a little dim, it would not cause the area he was in to become completely dark. How was this Starry Sky Blood Devil born? Even though they are in their spirit bodies, they can still suck blood. Chun Xiang was also rather curious about the Starry Sky Blood Devil at this time. I don't know. I asked the old men in the Star Moon Divine race, and they don't know much about it either. All they know is that the Starry Sky Blood Devil is a little afraid of light. Moreover, these Starry Sky Blood Devils have a very long lifespan, and are almost immortal. It's just that their existence is too secretive, and sometimes, even if you go to a dark place, it's hard to find them. Yue replied, Only when you're extremely unlucky will you encounter them in the starry sky. Do you know what will happen after they form their fleshly bodies? Chun Xiang was very curious about this, and laughed. I really want to catch one or two to research. This thing is very dangerous. It's better not to touch it, lest it gets sucked dry. Yue said, The elders from our clan also don't know how their flesh and blood were formed. But those old men said that undead divine race had done a better research on these things. The undead divine race had existed a long time ago, and was born even earlier than the other 3 god tribes. Xianxia continued to walk forward. He did not know if he could find the Star Law Divine Realm's Azure Dragon's mausoleum. Even if he could, there might not be any powerful beast spirits left behind, but he had to go and take a look. As long as he felt that it was possible, he would not give up. He used the space wind to travel. His speed was extremely fast, and soon he entered a dark area. Something's wrong. After Xianxia finished speaking, he immediately retreated backwards for a distance. When he returned, he immediately saw light. Yue also understood now that the area Xianxia had entered earlier had some kind of mysterious power that prevented the light from entering, preventing it from entering. The Death Star that is the location of the Azure Dragon's mausoleum is just ahead, but there seems to be an extremely large barrier up ahead that covers a star field, causing the interior to become extremely dark, Xianxia said before he teleported forward and entered the dark star region. Could it be that he deliberately chose this place as the location of the mausoleum? Would it be safer like this? Yue replied, "When I came back that year, I was in too much of a hurry. I didn't discover that there was actually a very large barrier here." Yue, why did you come to this kind of place all those years ago? Right now, Xianxia did not continue using the space wind, but was flying in the darkness of the starry sky. At the same time, he opened the Dao Heart Eye and looked around him. Back then, I was a law enforcer and went around arresting people. I chased a guy all the way here, and then I met that kind of starry sky blood devil for no reason. Yue said. For safety's sake, Xianxia took out the 6 realms mirrors. Sitting on the mirror, he controlled the 6 realms mirrors to release a barrier so that he wouldn't have to worry about being ambushed even if he relaxed. He was very confident in the defense of the 6 realms mirrors. At this time, Xianxia paid attention to the large and small Death Stars that were floating inside. These stars were all dead silent. How do I find it? If the mausoleum were to be buried on these dead stars, it would be impossible to see it like this. Yue said. In the ancient legends of the undead divine race, a mausoleum was built by a strange person. You should have heard of it from Elder Wu, right? Xianxia said. On that star, as long as I find something like that, it would be the star where the Azure Dragon tomb is located. Is this true? Yue was in disbelief. How can such a place exist? The strange fellow that Elder Wu mentioned sounds very strong. In this kind of dead star cluster, without enough energy to support it, they won't be able to become strong. Xianxia shook his head. He himself was not sure either. But at the moment, he had only grasped these clues. He could only search for it. If not, he would not know how to find it. Just as Xianxia was opening the Dao Heart Eye and looking at the Death Stars in front of him, he suddenly saw a few red specks floating in the starry sky, seemingly moving quickly towards him. He immediately put away the Dao Heart Eye. In front of him was pitch black, and when he used the Dao Heart Eye again, he saw that kind of dense, extremely large number of small dots. I saw it! Xianxia exclaimed. Ah! You found the Azure Dragon's mausoleum so quickly? Yue asked in surprise. No, I saw the starry sky blood devil. I saw it with the Dao Heart Eye. There are a lot of them and they move very fast. They were very far away from me, but they are getting closer and closer. Xianxia was also a little worried. He was worried that these starry sky blood devil would damage the defense of the 6 realms mirrors. I really met it. Your luck is pretty good. Luckily, you can see it. If you could not see it, and was still headed towards that place, you would have become a human now. Yue asked, Can you see what they look like? I can't see. They are already here, and all I can see is a human-shaped red shadow. These things are indeed spirits, but there is a very special kind of energy in their body that allows them to possess special powers. Xianxia said. As Xianxia and Yue were talking, that large wave of starry sky blood devil had already arrived beside him, heavily surrounding him and crazily charging toward the defensive barrier released by the 6 realms mirrors. The defense shield released by the 6 realms mirrors does not have any pressure at all. Seems like this kind of thing only have a special blood-sucking technique. It's not that powerful in other places. Xianxia smiled as he took out the Xianxia God Furnace. Then, he used his spatial energy to teleport the Xianxia God Furnace outside the barrier. How many are there? How on earth are they born? There are millions of people surrounding me right now. The last time you were almost sucked dry of your blood, it might not be just one person chasing after you, but tens of thousands instead. Xianxia said. When Yue heard it, she felt goosebumps all over. Xianxia had these kind of things million times more around him. She felt that she must have had this kind of thing last time. Did I run into the blood devil nest and leave? Fortunately, I have a lot of health left. Otherwise I would have died long ago. Yue sighed in fear. Xianxia controlled the Xianxia god furnace to produce a suction force that sucked all the starry sky blood devil in. What are you doing? Yue asked in shock. Right now, she could see everything except the pitch-black space. She did not have a Dao heart eye. Xianxia had the Dao heart eye, so he could see that the starry sky blood devils were like a blood-colored fog that was continuously surging into the Xianxia god furnace. I want to store these things inside the Xianxia god furnace and study them carefully. Xianxia laughed. To see if this kind of thing is useful, and to see what kind of strange power they are formed from. I'm afraid that you want to see whether or not you can refine a pill. Yue laughed and said, What strange thing do you see that makes you want to refine it? Let's take a look first. It's rather boring on the way anyway. Xianxia laughed. He indeed had that thought. Very quickly, the starry sky blood devil that surrounded him was absorbed into the Xianxia god furnace. Just as he finished collecting them, he saw another red light appear in front of him. There's actually more, Xianxia said in shock, but this time he rushed over himself, and even controlled the 6 realms mirrors to release a strong white light. After the 6 realms mirrors flew over, it released a very strong white light. When the starry sky blood devils saw it, they started to flee, with tens of thousands of starry sky blood devils scattered in all directions. The scene was also very spectacular, but only Xianxia could see it. These starry sky blood devil are very afraid of the white light, Xianxia said. This was a discovery, and their form is a human figure. It seems that after they formed their flesh bodies, they would definitely be in human form. He withdrew the white light and the surrounding starry sky blood devils immediately flew back. It could be seen that these starry sky blood devils did not have much intelligence. They only identified their target and then flew forward with all their might. Just like before, Xianxia took out the Xianxia god furnace and then released a suction force that sucked all the starry sky blood devil in. No more, Yue asked. It's temporarily gone. Xianxia patted the Xianxia god furnace. It's filled to the brim. I hope this kind of thing can be useful. Xianxia used his mind to carefully observe the interior of the Xianxia god furnace, but he did not see anything. After using the Dao heart eye, he was shocked. The Xianxia god furnace seemed to be filled with thick blood, and with so many starry sky blood devils squeezed together, it actually became blood, just that the blood was in the spirit body state. What exactly is this thing? Xianxia used the Dao heart eye to mutate and released flames to burn the starry sky blood devil inside. Just as it was set aflame, the Xianxia god furnace began to sway slightly. Xianxia exclaimed, It can actually produce such a powerful energy. These starry sky blood devil must be birthed from a very special and powerful energy. Xianxia was currently refining these starry sky blood devil like refining pills. Before long, all of them had been refined by him into an even thicker red liquid. Hey, you aren't thinking of refining it into a pill and eating it, are you? Yue suddenly felt her scalp go numb. Starry sky blood devil was such a scary item. To actually want to refine it into a pill and eat it, this was something that no one had ever done before. What are you afraid of? There won't be any problems after I refine the pill. As a great pill god, it is necessary for you to try out the pills yourself, Xianxia said as he chuckled. He had confidence in the heavenly alchemy. He felt that after being refined by it, the starry sky blood devil would become a pure energy. It all turned into energy. However, when he intended to completely fuse all of the energy, he felt that it was very difficult, not because he couldn't, but because he felt very weak. Even if he used all of his strength, he couldn't succeed. It was possible to fuse them, but his strength was insufficient. It was his first time encountering something like this. Even when his cultivation was very low previously, he would still be able to reach the final stage of condensing a Jingshandan. But now, he couldn't even reach the initial stage of the fusion. Could it be that there are too many starry sky blood devils? Xianxia was already sweating profusely. Just now, when he was going all out to merge with it, he could clearly feel how terrifying the energy he was trying to compress was. Looks like this is the only way. Xianxia made the Six Realms mirrors grow a lot larger, and then placed the Xianxia God Furnace in the middle of the Six Realms mirrors. You want to borrow the strength of the Six Realms mirrors? Yuer could guess at a glance. That's right, many of the array formations in the Six Realms mirrors are natural formations. They can produce very powerful energy, and under my control, these energy can compress the power of the Starry Sky Blood Devil within the Xianxia God Furnace. After Xianxia placed the Xianxia God Furnace in the middle of the Six Realms mirrors, he began to control the several large formations inside the Six Realms mirrors to combine together. The Six Realms mirrors itself could produce a large amount of Six Realms power S as its support, so it would not need to rely on Xianxia's power for now. Under Xianxia's control, the Six Realms mirrors unleashed a strong power, and under Xianxia's control, the power entered the Xianxia God Furnace. Xianxia and the Six Realms mirrors fused perfectly, so the Six Realms mirrors' energy was also equivalent to Xianxia's. When they entered the Xianxia God Furnace, the Xianxia God Furnace did not reject them. With the power of the Six Realms mirrors entering the Xianxia God Furnace, the formless blood clot inside was gradually shrinking. As Xianxia continued to compress inside, the originally liquid blood gradually became thicker and became moist like a clump of mud. At this moment, the lump of item was still very large and unstable. It was trembling slightly, and it was normal for such a situation to occur while compressing energy. It became a solid. Looks like it will eventually condense into a Jingshandan. Xianxia was excited. He never thought that the Starry Sky Blood Devil would actually be such a treasure, being able to refine Jingshandanes like this, but there were a lot of them. Xianxia used the Six Realms mirrors, helped to accomplish something that he couldn't do with his current strength. Refining so many Starry Sky Blood Devil S with special powers caused it to be extremely difficult for him to do so. Do you really want to eat it? Yuer asked. Will something happen to him? We'll talk about it when the refinement is completed. If there are no problems at that time, I'm not afraid. Xianxia laughed. Anyway, during the refining process, the other impurities have already been removed by me. The process of compression was extremely long, and the Six Realms mirrors had consumed most of its energy. Xianxia had no choice but to channel his divine power into the Six Realms mirrors. Fortunately, he had a very vast Six Realms power in the Divine Sense C, which was enough for the Six Realms mirrors to maintain its energy for a long period of time. 3 days had passed, and Xianxia's Xianxia God Furnace was burning with raging flames, burning the Jingshandan that had turned into a blood-colored crystal. Xianxia was trying to erase all of the consciousness inside the orb. This way, even if something went wrong, his own consciousness would not be affected in the least. It was refined the same as what Xianxia had expected. It was indeed made from a Jingshandan. He also decided to eat it now. It was very safe inside the Six Realms mirrors, but in order to make it safer, Xianxia flew to a nearby dead star and made a very deep hole that led deep underground. Yuer, if anything happens to me, I will need you to save me. Xianxia took out a dark red Jingshandan from inside the Xianxia God Furnace, and Yuer also came out from the ring. Do you really have a pill in your hand? Yuer asked. Why can't I see it? This kind of power is invisible. Even if it is refined into a pill, it would be the same. Only by using the Tao heart can one see it, but one can still feel it. Xianxia pinched the blood demon Jingshandan and rubbed it on Yuer's little claws. What a magical energy! Yuer exclaimed. This pill seems to be invisible. Well, I'm going to eat. Xianxia nodded, and then put the pill into his mouth and swallowed it. Yuer kept her distance from Xianxia, and currently, her heart was thumping non-stop. She was very nervous, afraid that something would happen to Xianxia, that she wouldn't be able to do anything to save him when the time comes. Any reaction? Yuer whispered. No. Xianxia frowned. But the medicinal power is starting to dissolve. There seems to be a reaction. It's very cold. With that said, Xianxia felt a chill invading every part of his body, making him shiver violently. Hey! Yuer shouted in alarm and ran over. Xianxia's current appearance was like he had just eaten a poisonous mushroom. He lay on the ground and twitched his body, his eyes turning white. After Yuer ran over, she felt a wave of hot air surging out from Xianxia's body. This made her feel very strange. Cold, cold to death. Xianxia suddenly sat up, hugging his knees, his entire body shivering like a bug. But your body is very hot. Yuer was stupefied. Xianxia's words were extremely cold, but the steam that he was spitting out made people feel like his body was burning. But I feel it's very cold, Xianxia said while trembling. Circulate my energy and refine the power of that pellet. Yuer hurriedly shouted. You must remember that you just ate a weird pill. It was only then that Xianxia suddenly remembered that he had been completely dazed just now. Hearing Yuer's reminder, he then revolved the heavenly alchemy and refined the strange energy that was scurrying around in his body. Not long after, Xianxia's condition stabilized, and Yuer let out a sigh of relief. She had been extremely nervous just now. Yuer squatted in front of Xianxia, wagging her little tail and carefully looking at him. Once Xianxia reacted, she would be worried again. After a long time had passed, Yuer was suddenly shocked in her heart. Because Xianxia's body had suddenly become translucent, she thought she had seen wrongly. She squinted her eyes and rubbed her eyes again, and realized that Xianxia's body was becoming more and more transparent. Yuer was so shocked that she couldn't speak. She had seen Xianxia become a mist before, but that was through using a divine ability. Now, when Xianxia was refining the divine pellet, his body slowly disappeared. Not long after, Xianxia only left behind a faint afterimage. He was still sitting cross-legged and seriously refining the pill. It has become transparent, just like the starry sky blood devil. Yuer finally couldn't see Xianxia anymore. She ran over and grabbed at Xianxia with her claws. Even his aura doesn't exist anymore. If he can't change back, then wouldn't that mean? Yuer didn't dare to imagine that if she lived in a world where no one could see her, she would go crazy. Who said I can't change it? Xianxia suddenly laughed, scaring Yuer. Hearing Xianxia's voice, Yuer immediately looked over, only to see a pair of Xianxia's eyes floating above her head. Ha ha! Xianxia laughed out loud, and then he completely revealed his body. Just now, he had only revealed 2 of his eyes. Is everything all right? Yuer felt a lot more at ease. At the same time, she inwardly cursed under her breath. She had been scared to death just now. Nothing happened at all. I have to say, this power is really magical, Xianxia praised. This is a type of counter-power very strange. How so? Yuer asked. When I used this power, what happened to me was the exact opposite of what you saw. Xianxia said, it's very strange. For example, I felt very cold just now, but you found out that my body is very hot. If I use this kind of power, heat is cold to me, cold is hot. That's because I didn't control it well, so it became like that. Now that I can control it, it becomes normal. Otherwise, I really can't imagine how I would be able to live in a normal world in the future. Yuer replied, so, you can make it so that no one can see you? Xianxia nodded his head. Actually, I exist, but because it's the other way around, in your eyes I don't exist, like those starry sky blood devils. This is extremely useful to me, even concealing my presence. After Xianxia took out the heavenly magic sword and used the counter-power, Yuer saw that the heavenly magic sword had suddenly disappeared, but she knew that it was still in Xianxia's hands. So sinister, Yuer chuckled. What a strange power. Xianxia laughed. This will make it more convenient for me. Wait until I go back. I will definitely try to see if Peak Divine Lord can discover me. Let's go. Continue looking for the Azure Dragon Tomb. At this time, Xianxia no longer needed the 6 realms mirrors. He directly made himself transparent and flew around in the starry sky. Yuer, I feel that the strange and strong thing that built this mausoleum was formed from the body of the starry sky blood devil. Xianxia said, so the Azure Dragon's mausoleum must be nearby. Xianxia had heard Wuxia talk about the creature that built the mausoleum, and how it had such a strange power. Even the undead divine race S with that kind of power couldn't tell what it was, which was why Xianxia thought that the creature was evolved from the starry sky blood devil. The reason why Xianxia, who was shuttling through the starry sky, had become completely transparent was to prevent himself from being discovered by another wave of starry sky blood devil. In this vast starry sky there were a lot of starry sky blood devil, and the amount of starry sky blood devil he caught was extremely small. There's another starry sky blood devil up ahead, but they couldn't find me. Maybe I can follow these guys and see where they will go. If they all evolve into that kind of creature, then I might be able to find the location of the Azure Dragon Tomb. Xianxia said, because the Azure Dragon's mausoleum is currently guarded by those things. In front of them was a very long red-colored belt of light, but only Xianxia could see it using his Dao Heart Eye. It was formed by starry sky blood devil, and he didn't know why they were arranged in such an orderly manner. So many. How the hell did they get here? Xianxia flew over with a questioning look and followed behind the group of starry sky blood devil. The starry sky blood devil didn't even notice him as he was floating in the starry sky. Their movement speed wasn't very fast, as if they were in deep sleep, and at the same time they were slowly pulled towards the front by a powerful force. At this time, Xianxia had already grasped the special powers of these starry sky blood devils and could use them, so he did not need to capture them for concocting pills. Which way should I go? Xianxia looked at the long line of starry sky blood devils. There were no ends in sight. The reason he was at a loss now was because these starry sky blood devil might be being summoned back, because he had killed a lot of them earlier and the thing that made these starry sky blood devil might have found out. Thus, if they followed the direction of the starry sky blood devil, they might be able to find the place where they built it. At the same time, he guessed that the starry sky blood devil was constantly being built, and the direction they were going might be the designated direction, and the opposite direction they were going might be the origin. Let's head in the opposite direction. Xianxia smiled inwardly. Having cultivated such a strange counterpower, the decision he had made now was the complete opposite. At the moment, they were in an orderly line with many red figures, so they had to wait in a long line in the starry sky. Xianxia flew along the line for a few days, and suddenly saw a very large Death Star in front of him. I guessed it right. The source is this Death Star. Xianxia looked at the black figure in the distance. In the dark Death Star district, it was only a blurry ball of black chi, but Xianxia had the Dao Heart Eye so he could see the silhouette clearly. What a huge Death Star. I've been a law enforcer for so many years, but I've never seen such a huge Death Star. This Death Star is several times bigger than the biggest one among the heavenly stars. Yuer exclaimed in admiration. Furthermore, they were hidden very well. The outer sect was intentionally shrouded in a black fog. There must be something on top of it. Xianxia nodded his head. If he did not go closer, it would be hard to find him in the distance. Using his Dao Heart Eye, Xianxia could clearly see that starry sky blood devil's long line was connecting to this huge Death Star. It's very likely that the Star Technique's Azure Dragon's mausoleum is above this. Xianxia felt that even if he was sure that the Azure Dragon's mausoleum was up there, it would still be difficult to find the thing he needed. With a teleportation, Xianxia arrived at the mass of black aura emitted by the giant Death Star. As long as he passed through this mass of black aura, he would be able to clearly see the true appearance of the giant Death Star. It's a barrier. After Xianxia came closer, he said with certainty. It seems to be a very strong protective barrier, and it requires a lot of energy to maintain. This barrier has been in operation for many years. Where did the energy come from? To maintain such a strong barrier, only the core of the heaven stage stars is able to afford it. Could it be that there is a heaven stage stars inside? Xianxia thought that this was the only way to make this barrier work for many years. He had never encountered such a barrier before. The barrier that he had encountered before was at most a single one, causing him to be unable to move forward. However, the barrier in front of him was able to transform energy into the strength of an iron wall. What a terrifying spirit formation. If it is forcefully attacked, it will be broken through very quickly. Xianxia used the power of space to teleport in an attempt to break through, but he had still failed. Even my spatial energy cannot break through. Xianxia was shocked again, and then he looked at the place that was emitting red light, the place where the starry sky blood devil was constantly spawning. He immediately flew over, and discovered that there was only a pinhole-sized hole there, and it was from this pinhole-sized hole that starry sky blood devil squeezed out. Looks like I can only enter from this place. Xianxia first used the counter-power to make himself invisible, then used a divine ability to turn his body into a wisp of smoke, and then pierced through the pinhole-sized hole. After entering, he was stunned by a burst of faint blue-green light. He did not expect that the huge Death Star that was wrapped in a mass of death energy was actually a beautiful blue-green star. This made him feel as if he had not entered a barrier, but instead entered another world. From high in the sky, he could clearly see that this giant star was covered by a large expanse of blue ocean. I really didn't expect this place to actually have a special domain. Yu'er was also very surprised. She was once the law enforcer of the Star Law Divine Realm, but she didn't know that such a huge heavenly star was hidden in such a place. The greater the heavenly star was, the richer the resources it had. None of the several big heavenly stars in Star Law Divine Realm were bigger than this. Let's go down and take a look. Xianxia looked at the long line formed by the starry sky blood devil, and saw that it led to the bottom of the great heavenly star. From high up in the sky, Xianxia could see a weak red light emitting from the place where starry sky blood devils were constantly erupting. Of course, it could only be seen by using Dao Heart Eye. Very quickly, Xianxia landed on the ground. He still used the counterpower to hide himself. After all, he had arrived at an extremely mysterious place. There was definitely danger here. The air is good, the sun is full, and the temperature is just right. What a place! What was hidden here? To be able to continuously create that kind of terrifying starry sky blood devil. Xianxia looked at the red line that connected to the sky. An unending stream of starry sky blood devil was being created and sent to the Death Star area that was filled with darkness. We'll think about it after we scout around. In any case, there must be other people here, or else there wouldn't be such a powerful spirit formation here. Yu'er said. Xianxia nodded, flew into his mouth, and flew towards a direction. At the same time, he paid close attention to the ground below, and not long after, he saw a special god beast. This special god beast had 7 huge tiger heads, and its body was also very large. It was like a small hill quickly chasing down a huge bear. They are all holy level special god beast. Xianxia said. Looks like this heaven stage stars doesn't have as many people as those heavenly stars. This place must have a large amount of resources that have yet to be discovered. It's just that it's too big. I can't find anything by myself. Xianxia used the counterpower to make his body invisible, but the 7-headed tiger beast did not notice him. He had followed the 7-headed tiger because he wanted to see if the 7-headed tiger would be able to catch the giant bear in the end. The giant bear was weak and it was also injured. It knew that it couldn't beat the 7-headed tiger, so it could only run for its life. After an hour, Xianxia suddenly heard a dragon's roar. Then a red fire dragon appeared out of nowhere. It used its claws to grab the bear's head, and then crushed it to death. Xianxia did not realize the sudden appearance of the fire dragon, let alone the 7-headed tiger. However, the 7-headed tiger's reaction was very fast. The moment the fire dragon appeared, it started running, but the fire dragon's reaction was even more so. It swung its flaming dragon tail and swept across, knocking the 7-headed tiger into a stone mountain not far away. Humph! Let me do this all day long. The fire dragon turned into a red-clothed female with a fiery hot figure. She put the corpse of the huge bear into her storage ring with a displeased expression, then flew over to collect the 7-headed tiger as well. You only know how to bully women. That group of fellows think that they have some ability, but they feel that it's beneath them to do this sort of thing. They always throw it at me. Fire Dragon Girl took out a large piece of meat and roasted it on the ground, cursing non-stop. There was actually a fire dragon with such strength here. to actually be able to easily kill 2 fierce holy level special god beast. This kind of strength was very strong. Is it the divine dragon race? Xianxia asked Yue. It must be the divine dragon race, but aren't they hiding on planet Earth Dragon? Why is there one here? Yue was also curious. Aren't you very good at dealing with women? Won't we know if we hook up with her after going down there? Right now, Xianxia could only ask the woman about this. He retrieved the counterpower, revealed himself, and then descended to the ground. When he landed, it was very quiet, but Fire Dragon Girl was very sharp. He immediately sensed it and immediately stood up to look at him. Who are you? Fire Dragon Girl frowned as she asked coldly, her fists filled with flames. I am. Just arrived at this planet. Xianxia smiled and said, It's my first time here, so I'm not familiar with it, so I wanted to ask you. Liar, the outer sect has a powerful barrier. It's even very difficult to enter and exit. How can you easily enter? Tell me, who are you? You are not from our dragon race. Fire Dragon Girl's face was full of vigilance, a murderous aura emitting from him. Then who do you think I am? Xianxia asked with a smile, but he appeared very easygoing. There is only our dragon clan and evil spirit race here. If you are not from our dragon clan, then you are from the evil spirit race. Fire Dragon Girl said coldly. If you come any closer, I will immediately kill you. Get lost now. I don't want to kill things like you in this pure land. I'm afraid your blood will make this place barren. Don't be agitated. I told you I'm from outside. I'm human. Xianxia said. Have you never seen humans before? Even though I haven't seen it before, I know that humans don't have the aura of the evil spirit race, and you do. Fire Dragon Girl was getting more and more agitated as he roared at Xianxia. Get lost now, or I'll make my move. Xianxia was very gloomy in his heart. Previously, when he had fused with the counterpower, he also had that evil spirit race's chi. There is a guy in your evil spirit race who has a powerful disguise. Our dragon pearl has suffered a few times. Don't think about trying to fool me again. The Fire Dragon Girl said again. Leave. Quickly leave our territory. Xianxia now knew that this Heaven Stage Stars was already divided into 2 areas. One was the area of the evil spirit race, the other was the area of the dragons. How can you trust my people? Xianxia was now even more sure that the Azure Dragon's mausoleum was here. Otherwise, there wouldn't be a dragon race stationed here. How should I know? But you, how are you going to prove that you're human? As the Fire Dragon Girl slowly retreated, Xianxia saw a pearl suddenly appearing in her hands. Hey, wait! Don't send any sound transmissions to your clansmen. I don't want to get into a conflict with you. Xianxia suddenly shouted. That's right. Does the evil spirit race here know how to refine pills? Divine pills? Fire Dragon Girl asked. They wouldn't. In this place, only the Supreme Dragon Emperor of our dragon race would know how to refine pills. If you knew how to refine divine pellets, or if you possess a divine pill, then it can prove that you are a human being who came from the outside. Good. Tell me, what kind of divine pills do your dragon race have? Let me see if I have any. Xianxia said. Dragon Yuanshan Dan, do you have it? Where is the bone level Dan? The Fire Dragon Girl asked. These are the most precious divine pills of our dragon clan. I have bone level Dan, but Dragon Yuanshan Dan doesn't. Xianxia immediately took out a high-rank bone level Dan and threw it over. Look, is this a bone level Dan that you are familiar with? Fire Dragon Girl saw Xianxia running over and hurriedly caught it, saying, How do I know if it's a bone level Dan? I have never eaten before. I just ate a Dragon Yuanshan Dan. Are you deceiving my bone level Dan? Xianxia was a little speechless. Who wants your crappy stuff? Take it back. Fire Dragon Girl was immediately enraged. She forcefully threw it over, then rushed over, no longer speaking any nonsense with Xianxia. When Xianxia caught the bone level Dan, he immediately dodged to the side to avoid the Fire Dragon Girl's Fire Dragon Fist. Even though you possess 95 divine deity, you do not have a single bones. It's a piece of cake for me to kill you. Xianxia used the bones in his eyes and saw through the fire dragon girl's strength with one glance. Even if I have to die, I will fight you. As expected of a fire dragon, as explosive as fire, it rushed towards Xianxia with no regards for its life. Heavenly Dragon Seal. Dragon subduing. Xianxia quickly formed a seal with his hand, and a few green dragons flew out from Xianxia's body and formed a circular green dragon pattern array, enveloping Fire Dragon Girl, who was completely shocked. Heavenly Dragon Seal, how did you do it? Furthermore, the Heavenly Dragon Seals that have been lost for a long time in the history of the White Dragon clan. Fire Dragon Girl was frozen still, unable to move an inch. Xianxia walked over with a giggle and caressed the smooth and beautiful face of the Fire Dragon Girl, laughing. I already said that I'm a foreigner, yet you refuse to believe me. Die! Fire Dragon Girl roared in anger. He actually dodged it and threw a punch at Xianxia's face. This Fire Dragon Girl's fist carried the flames of an enraged dragon. When it smashed onto Xianxia's face, it exploded with a strong flame that blasted Xianxia flying. Although Xianxia was sent flying, it was only his face that was in pain. He currently had 16 bones and an extremely strong physical body, so even if the Fire Dragon Girl didn't have a single bones, it still wouldn't be able to harm him. Touch my face. I'll give it back to you. Fire Dragon Girl snorted. Alright, now that we're even, can we have a good talk? Her punch actually did not make Xianxia vomit blood. She suspected that this fellow before her was really a human, and from what she knew, a human's body was as weak as mud. Just a moment ago, she was still worried that she would beat Xianxia to death. How did you get in? Our Dragon Emperor said that it would be difficult to get in and out. Fire Dragon Girl's current attitude was much better. She was sure that Xianxia wasn't from that evil spirit race, otherwise she would have died a long time ago. She could clearly feel the difference between her and Xianxia. Isn't that the exit from Starry Sky Blood Devil? I used the art of change to turn into a wisp of smoke and then drilled my way in. Xianxia pointed to the direction in which Starry Sky Blood Devil was gushing out continuously. You can see those things? The Fire Dragon Girl had a lot of questions, and then he asked, the transformation techniques are also a secret of our divine dragon race, and only by long understands the white dragon lineage has disappeared for a long time. Where did you learn them from? One of my wives is by Long. Where do you think I learned that from? She taught me. Xianxia laughed mischievously. In the past, she always followed me. I miss her a lot too. A while ago, she fell for a black dragonflower poison. I spent a lot of effort to refine a divine pill to cure her of the poison. Then how did you see that? I can only see it with this. Fire Dragon Girl took out a transparent crystal and gave it to Xianxia. Xianxia could see the Starry Sky Blood Devil through the crystal. The method I'm cultivating can make my eyes extremely sharp, so I could see that you don't have bones on you. Xianxia asked, what is this crystal? What our Dragon Emperor has refined is very precious. I only got my reward after killing many strange beasts. Fire Dragon Girl hurriedly put it away. It seemed like the crystal was incomparably precious in her eyes. I really didn't expect that White Dragon would actually marry a human. Fire Dragon Girl snorted. That's nothing, you can marry me too. My White Dragon wife definitely won't object. She might even be very happy to have a Fire Dragon sister. Xianxia laughed. Don't even think about it. Fire Dragon Girl snorted. Also, why do you have evil spirit race's aura on your body? I found a lot of Starry Sky Blood Devil on the way, and then I caught 1 million or so and refined them into pills to eat. Then I would have that ability on me. Xianxia was also very curious. How did you find out that aura on my body? Why didn't I sense it myself? This. Fire Dragon Girl took out a red pearl. This was originally transparent, but when you approached it, it turned red. Our dragon race have suffered at the hands of the evil spirit race, and they had humans who infiltrated our dragon race, but in order to prevent such a thing from happening, our Dragon Emperor refined this kind of thing. Xianxia nodded, closed his eyes, and completely hid the piece of counter-power on his body deep within the divine sense sea. It's not red anymore. Fire Dragon Girl was a little surprised, I never thought that you could actually control evil spirit race's power so easily. Oh right, you have the power of the evil spirit race. What abilities do you have? You get me a little fireball. Xianxia laughed. Fire Dragon Girl flicked his finger and released a small ball of fire. Xianxia hurriedly caught it and released the counter power. The ball of fire hit his palm and turned into a pool of water. Reversal. Fire Dragon Girl nodded. This is indeed evil spirit race's power. Then she looked at the bead and it turned red again. Xianxia laughed. Impressive. Do you want this power? I can go capture some starry sky blood devils right now and refine them into pills for you to eat. There's no need. If they find out, I will be chased out of the dragon race and treated as a traitor. Fire Dragon Girl immediately shook his head. You have the 95 bones and will soon be full. With 9 more bones, you will be at the peak. Xianxia said, could it be that you lack a lot of Dragon Clan bone level, Dan? Why haven't you eaten a single pellet? You have 95 divine deity, which means that your talent is not bad. Speaking of this matter, Fire Dragon Girl snorted, and used the whip in his hand to beat the grass on the ground. I'm a girl. If they don't give me food, they will waste their bones, and they will even say that we're responsible for laying the eggs. You are the god of pills. Will you give the bone-level Dan to your white dragon wife to eat? It seemed like she was very unhappy about his position in the Dragon Clan. Of course. She ate my divine pellet as if she was eating beans. She ate the pellet that I made to become stronger. Xianxia laughed. You can follow me. There are plenty of bone-level Dan. Xianxia liked this kind of beautiful dragon with great potential very much. After bluffing it over, he would give it to LV Chilean. In that way, LV Chilean's Hundreds of Flowers village would have another powerful divine dragon in the future. By the way, what's your name? Xianxia asked. Long Pei Jin. How about you, human? Long Pei Jin had almost agreed to follow him around in her heart, but she was still more rational. She knew that she still wasn't completely clear of Xianxia, and she didn't completely believe in his words either. Xianxia, do you want to return with me to the Dragon Pearl? If you know how to refine pills, our Dragon Emperor might really welcome you. Long Pei Jin said. Well, I'm going. What will you do if the Dragon Clan bullies me? Xianxia said worriedly. I'm worried that I might clash with them, so I don't plan to go for now. I just want to ask you about the evil spirit race, and why are the dragons trapped here? Xianxia was very sure that the Azure Dragon's mausoleum was right here. It was just that the star was so huge, and it would not be easy for him to find the Azure Dragon's mausoleum. Moreover, he was certain that the Dragon Clan knew where the Azure Dragon's mausoleum was. They were responsible for protecting the Azure Dragon's mausoleum here. Xianxia was here to dig a grave. He definitely could not ask the Azure Dragon's mausoleum directly, as that would arouse the dragon race's suspicions.